take a look at one of our ODOT cams. We're going to look at I-5 just south of downtown. This is at McAdam, the right side of the screen, the northbound lanes. This may very well be the worst spot in the entire city because traffic here has been nearly at a standstill since 5 o'clock this evening. And that is where we find our Catherine Cook. Catherine, you've been essentially stuck on that same stretch for the last 5 or 6 hours here. I mean, so many folks going through exactly what you are, I should mention, including the governor's press secretary, who I've been texting with about this. So first, how are you holding up? And then any sign it's actually going to get better?
Well, David, thanks for asking. My photographer and I could definitely use a bathroom break, maybe a good stretch and some food. It has been a very long time in this car today, probably about 7 hours like you said, but really for the most part we're good. Let's flip the camera and show you what we're looking at. I have to tell you, we did not expect to be here this long. And we just started to move again about 15 minutes ago, which was really encouraging for us, but that only lasted for about a minute before we stopped once again. So here is a look back at what we've seen over the last 7 hours from our point of view.
For more than 4 hours, this was our view. We sat idling on I-5 North near the 405 split, barely moving, always commiserating. Before reaching a dead end, we managed to drive some 6 miles over the course of 5 hours. This guy found time to stop and clean his windshield wipers. As the snow progressed, many drivers struggled. This poor soul stopped in the middle of I-5 to try chaining up his Prius, clearly unaware at the start of his commute that this is how it would end up going. Many drivers hopped out of their rigs, hoping that perhaps with a better view, traffic would start moving again. All they got was fresh air mixed with miles and miles of exhaust and more waiting. The crippling perils of snow in Portland.
Back live in Southwest Portland. Hey, look at this. This looks like a familiar view. Yes, we've been watching this for the last 7 hours, as you just saw. And truly, in all seriousness, you know, we are not the only ones in this big snowy boat. And certainly the stretch of I-5 isn't the only part of the metro area that is still crippled and has been since rush hour. It's just, it's discouraging, you know, and I feel for those out there who may be running out of gas or who've abandoned their cars. And certainly folks out who've decided to just, you know, walk and see where that leads them. We had one gentleman come up to our window and ask if we wanted a bottle of water, which was very kind of them, and we said no, we're good. But how long we'll be good is left to be seen. I have no idea, frankly, David. I have no idea how long my photographer and I will be out here, how long the rest of us will be out here on this stretch of I-5, but I sure hope they are able to clear up the mess that's in front of us, wherever it may be. Back to you.
Well, Catherine, we're working to get some answers there. And you know what? We appreciate the work you and Corey have done, giving us a front row view of what so many Portlanders are going through tonight. Thank you, Catherine. Stay safe out there, however long it takes. All right, further to the north, our Joe Ranieri and his photographer have been very slowly working their way back to Portland from the other side, from Vancouver. So Joe sent us this a few minutes ago about his long trek home, which, by the way, still isn't over.
We were stuck on the I-5 bridge for nearly 2 hours. We finally got off about, 20 minutes ago, 30 minutes ago. We saw traffic rolling pretty well, and now we're stuck here at exit 304. So we're inching closer to the station, but again, it has been a very long day, and obviously we're not the only ones. We're just seeing brake lights.
All right, let's talk about the official response now. And we're going to be honest here, it's been hard to get officials on the phone or to do interviews late into the evening. Let's start with the state and ODOT, which says it called in everybody they could as the storm hit. But this, in their words, was a worst case scenario. So we asked ODOT what people stuck on the interstates like Catherine should do right now. Their advice was to stay in your cars. There is no ETA for when they'll get those backups cleared or help on the way. So here's what a spokesperson told us earlier during our live coverage.
All hands on board to do as much as we can to focus on the key arterials. And that is, what's vital to get not just people where they need to go, but freight where it needs to go, and minimize the disruptions. But there will be disruptions for the next probably 24 hours, because this is the worst case scenario when you've got this much precipitation plus such low temperatures.
Well, you heard it firsthand there. Worst case scenario for the 24 hours from now, at least. ODOT says they rely on de-icer primarily in our area. They do have a few spots where they use salt. You can check road conditions in Oregon at tripcheck.com. But the overwhelming advice right now from experts tonight and into the morning hours, do not head out if you don't have to.